You're watching Moms Matter. I'm your host, Shirin Yadigar, and joining us today from the East Coast is a CEO mama, badass warrior woman, Vanessa Coppes, who is the CEO of Bella Magazine. And guess what? Bella Magazine is right here, fresh off the press. This is so exciting.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Your life story is pretty amazing. I mean, you've done a lot, and now you've landed at a place where you have two teenage boys.
Yes.
And you are this entrepreneur and you own Bella Magazine. And all you're doing is really amplifying other voices and bringing these people who we've never heard of to the spotlight. What made you buy a magazine?
Insanity. That's the first step. But I think the entrepreneurial bug is something that I've always had. I've always, I grew up around entrepreneurial parents, but I'm a writer at heart. I've been journaling and writing since I was a very young girl. And at the age of 13, I had a very clear picture. I had this vision one time in class where I saw myself typing away with the New York City skyline, looking out the window. And it was kind of like that Sex and the City moment where, and I was just, sharing stories about fashion and whatnot. And lo and behold, fast forward to 2006, when I first heard of Bella. I began as their digital marketer. And then I became a contributor. And when they decided to sell in 2019, I had this knee-jerk reaction. It was never in the plans, but I had been in it so long that I knew the ins and outs of it. I had done every job on the roster, and I felt like I could do it a little bit differently, especially also highlighting Latina voices because I am originally from the Dominican Republic. So I wanted to have a Spanish version of it. So that was really it. It was just kind of like, okay, you already know what you're doing. You might as well go for it. Wow. And I did.
Wow. That takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
It really is. It's ballsy. I mean, you don't see many women who go out there and they'll say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I know it. I'm going to go for it.
I think too, honestly, it was just, I want a big life. I don't think I'm sure you've all heard that from Mrs. Maisel. I want to live a big life. I want my life to have significance and meaning, and to leave like no stone unturned. I want to be able to have, I'm all about experiences, and having this publication has opened doors that I could have only dreamed of. And it's something that I'm truly passionate about, because it's not just about me, it's also about the other women that I work with, the other creatives that I work with. It's opened up so many opportunities for them. Just briefly, I was having a conversation with someone who we just published their images for the first time. That's a gift that not everyone is willing to give, and I'm happy that I'm able to do so with not just creatives, but just women who are starting their own businesses, because it's a big deal.
It is a big deal, but I can tell you have such generosity of heart. When I reached out to you originally, you said to me, well, I also have a client in town, and could you possibly showcase her? So it's not all about you at all. You're doing this really because, and you've created a nonprofit out of it as well.
I did. Along with my business partner, Lynette Barberry, we launched it about 7 years ago, the ETT Women Foundation, which helps women who are victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. I am a survivor of both. So I know what it means to get back on your feet and to survive something, as Oprah has always said, what happened to you happened for you. And I think it's been the fuel, really. I always said, if I had one person to just say, you know what, I'm going to also take you along for the ride, what would that look like? And I hope that that's what we've been able to do through Bella.
Well, that's what you're doing. That is it's just so incredible. It's so real. It's authentic. It's inspiring. It's everything good that women should be doing, right?
Thank you.
We all should be collaborating and cultivating these new relationships.
I have these conversations so often, and it's like there's enough for all of us to go around. There is obviously there's work that's the other part of it. Like it's work, and it wears overalls, and you have to be willing to do it and be able to dive in and pursue it. But if we do it together, how much more easier can it be for the both of us or for the entire community? So
when you say it's work, I can't imagine. I mean, I used to work in the print world, and I know how much work it is, but owning a magazine and running a magazine and being a mom with two teenage boys at the same time, how do you balance that?
There's no such thing as balance. I'm going to start right there. I think that you do what works for you and your family. I have an incredible team. I also have an incredible partner in life. You know, my husband is extremely supportive of everything that I do, but I have an assistant and I have help. And when they need, you know, to be chauffeured around, I have people in my network, in my circle who can take them to a practice when I'm not able to. And it's such a gift also to be able to rely on those people. And it's a very tight knit circle of friends and colleagues. And these are people that I also, you know, work with.
Right.
But we've been able to help and support each other in those ways so that I'm able to do, you know, because people are always like, oh, I see you on Facebook or on Instagram. And it's, yeah, it looks really cute.
Right.
On Instagram with the filters on, but
Right.
behind the scenes, it's also a ton of work. But honestly, I don't think I could ever live any other way. So I love it.
And then what you said, that there is no such thing as balance, and you're so right, and you're so honest in what you say. You need help. As a working mom, you need help. You can't do it by yourself.
You cannot.
But what is the most exciting part of your day? Like when you get up and you're ready to go and you're doing so much, it's multimedia for you.
Oh my gosh.
Do you like the writing part of it? Do you like being on camera?
You know, I've been asked this question a lot over the years, and I have to be honest, even to this day, I get excited by walking into my office because it's an opportunity to share somebody else's story, right? And I'll say, when I'm walking in, I'm like, what new thing am I going to learn about today? I'm a very avid learner. I always say, like, I'm a student of life, and there's always interesting connections and stories that I'm being pitched, and that's honestly the most exciting part. But to answer your question, the photo shoots are the most fun. The creative process of picking outfits and combining, you know, designers that would fit a talent's personality is also super cool. You know, someone just complimented me just today about how good the writing and the publication is because I take a lot of pride in that. You know, we work really, really hard in being storytellers, and that you know, when people close it, they're like, oh, okay, I learned something new, or I learned about another, you know, a new brand in a way that's also conversational.
Right.
It's based on my blog. I launched my blog in 2006 as a way to deal with postpartum depression with my son. And it was me connecting to other women, you know, like, how are you getting by through your day? And when I bought Bella, I wanted the conversation to be very transparent and very clear, just like you and I were sitting down as friends and I was telling you about a new lipstick, right? When you try something new, you want to be able to know it, like it, and trust it from someone that you know. So that was the same kind of like, you know, vision that I had for the publication also. So the writing, the photo shoots are the most fun. And I get to wear and you know, amazing designers and fun things that.
I mean, can we talk about what you're wearing right now? I mean, you look so cute. I mean, what are you wearing right now?
This is
amazing.
This Mama Bear, Lee Evans Lee, who is the designer and founder, who also happens to be a great brand partner for Bella, but has become a great friend of mine. And you're going to hear from her soon. But it's jumpsuit. I literally cannot begin to tell you, you can put this in the wash, pack it, roll it up, and pull it out, and it will look this amazing when you wear it. So
it looks so good on you, and it looks so comfortable, which is like what every working mom wants. I mean, wow, it really is.
Butter.
It's perfection.
I'm wearing sweats, but I look fabulous.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you met through magazine.
We met.
And there you go.
A connection in common that we both had, and it all. Our stories are like full circle. I'm like, can you believe this person knows? Just at the hotel lobby today, we met someone who overheard a conversation and styling. Like that's just how life has worked out for me. And honestly, this is just amazing. So,
but it's because you're so authentic. You're real. And I think the key to all of this for so many moms who are trying to reinvent themselves, right? They're like, okay, I'm now in act 2 or act 3 of my life, and I want something big and I want something different. But you can't do it if you're not authentic.
I think, you know, this is a very loaded conversation, because I think we can all agree that the hardest thing sometimes for us to be is ourselves, right? Because we don't want to be judged. We want to be liked. We want to be in everyone's good graces. But I've learned the very difficult way that you're not for everyone, and that's okay.
And
that's okay. And to be okay with that is enough, right? It's enough, because I think that if you're clear on your vision and your passion, if you want to start a business, if you want to just put yourself out there in any which way, you're doing yourself a disservice by being inauthentic, by not being honest, and by not portraying. So I'm grateful that when I hear people like, you're just like you are on social media, I would hope that that's what people are taking away from me, because I just try to be myself. Like I'm just being me.
That is, but it's so real and it shows. And in all the years that you've moved around and you've done so many different things throughout your life, and you're so young to be, so successful. Yeah. What's your one bit of advice that you would say to all mamas out there who really are reaching for the stars and just feel like they can't do it? Because we get to a point where we, like you said, you had postpartum. We're juggling so much. There's so much happening. Yeah. What has been like your secret sauce or your inspiration that's really gotten you to where you are?
Be okay in knowing that you can ask for help. Asking for help is key. It has been honestly the game changer in everything that I do, because you cannot do this by yourself, and go for it.
I love it. I love it. You really are spectacular.
Thank you.
Where can we get this amazing Bella magazine and learn more about you and what you're doing?
Thank you so much. You can go to bellamedia.co and just go to the shop section and get your copy and subscribe.
I love it. Love it. Vanessa, you are a joy. You're an inspiration. Thank you for doing what you're doing and leading by example, not just by being just a boss lady, but by giving back, right? And taking that and not just amplifying voices, but like doing good for the world.
Thank you so much.
It's rare to find, and when we do, we hold on to those jewels. So thank you for being one of those women in the world. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you. You saw it right here on Moms Matter. We'll see you all next time.